So I was reading several articles and several posts about the latest events and so forth that's going on between Anthony Edwards and I believe her name is Aisha Howard. So for those of you all who may not be aware, Anthony Edwards is a basketball player, famous basketball player. Apparently he's young, he's in his 20s. He is killing the game right now. And then Aisha Howard, she's a little bit older than Anthony and so forth, but that is his baby mama. They just had a baby October of 2024, it looks like. And so the word is that she got pregnant. He told her, I don't want a baby. I'm not sure, I haven't confirmed. I'm hearing that maybe he paid her like $100,000 to have an abortion. She declined. She said she doesn't want to have an abortion. So instead, she decided to have the baby. Apparently, she was living in California. She moved to California. She put him on child support, or she filed to put him on child support in California. Originally, they lived in Georgia. And so he filed for child support in Georgia. The story, the rumor is that he went ahead and, it was confirmed that this is his child. So he went ahead and said, okay, I think this is a money grab. So I'm going to pay 18 years of child support in one lump sum. I'm going to go ahead and pay her one lump sum of $1,080,000 and so forth. So then that way, that way we don't have to deal with anything. I don't want to have a relationship with you. I don't want to have a relationship with the child. I don't want to have custody or time sharing or anything like that with this child. And I'm going to pay you this lump sum and move on. Since that has come out, apparently Miss Howard has posted saying, no, that's never happened. She was never offered a lump sum of anything. No motions have been filed or anything like that. But let's get into this because I am hearing so many different takes, and a lot of people, I'm hearing a lot of men for some reason, but a lot of people are saying, oh, well, that was so smart. Just go ahead and pay it in advance and get over it, get done with it. I saw one post on social media where they were saying, oh, well, he must have a brilliant attorney who told him to do that. If Anthony Edwards was my client, I don't think I would advise him to pay it all in one lump sum. People are over here cheering like, yes, he beat the system. I don't see that. I don't see that. You're going to need more people to convince me of that because I don't see that. I paid you this lump sum. You now have no need for any more child support. No. What if he gets, bigger contracts, more contracts, and now he's making more money? As their daughter gets older, she has more needs and so forth. The cost of things go up and increase, and mom can take him back to court. If it's in Florida, mom can take him back to court and say, hey, we need to increase child support. And now it has to be done. He paid her. And I'm thinking, I don't know Georgia law. I'm not licensed in Georgia law. I'm not even speculating on it. But here's my thought, what I do know, and I'm not giving any legal advice once again. I'm a Florida attorney. I'm not giving any legal advice, but what I do know is that I would be cautious with throwing up the high fives and the celebrations just yet. And here's why. Because think about it. Here in Florida, if he was, responsible for paying a certain amount of child support per month, unless they actually agreed otherwise, child support is modifiable. And so what does that mean? That means that if her income changes, if his income changes, then your child support could either increase or it could decrease. There's never a time, and that can happen, that's modifiable and all, as long as there's a substantial change of circumstances that rises to the level here in the state of Florida. And if the child is under the age of 18 or, 18, expecting to graduate high school before they turn 19, or God forbid the child, has an ongoing disability that's going to require parental care and so forth past the age of 18. But outside of that, there's not a one-stop shop. We look at things in the best interest of the child, so there's always room for modification. And let's say this, let's give, and I'm just talking, y'all. I'm just chit-chatting. I'm not wishing ill and all, but you know what? Human bodies are human bodies. Let's say, God forbid, he twists his ankle on the court. Now he's not playing basketball. Now he's not making all these millions per year. His life career has changed, and also his income has changed. Guess what? He may need to go ahead and file for a modification if he were here in the state of Florida, and a downward modification. If he's not making the same amount, that's something there. What if he changes, changes his spirit, changes his heart, and realizes, hey, my daughter needs me to be in her life. I'm going to be an active parent in her life. Those are things that's taken into consideration with the child support calculation. So once again, that's something that is a modification that should come up. Keep in mind that we always look at what's in the best interest of the child. If I were having that conversation with my brothers or my friends and so forth, I think I would absolutely be on the line of, no, don't do that lump sum payment unless you all specifically agreed to that. And I don't see a court saying, yeah, we'll go ahead and let you agree to a high lump sum payment, but there can never be a modification in the future, because how can you say what is in that child's best interest at that time? So I wouldn't advise my client to go ahead and do that, because there's too many things that could happen to allow for a modification in the future. And one lump sum does not make it, it's not a flat bill. It doesn't make it go away. There's also a little bit of era maturity that's needed as well. But you know, as the greatest Mrs. Glenette Brown used to tell me all the time, keep living. All right, y'all. Lisa Knox with LM Knox Law and Mediation. Giving you all a shout out. Hard knocks, fall knocks. In the meantime, I'll talk to y'all soon. Take care.